Hey everybody, my name is Jared and I am a Master Mason in the state of Mississippi in the United States of America. And today I'm wearing the Noche tie from Edgar over at Masonic Revival. You can't make it out on this video, but head over to his website and you can check out all the hidden symbols inside the tie. Today's viewer's question is, could you discuss transferring membership? Well, certainly I can, but because we're specifically talking about membership and affiliation, I think it's critical for me to say that this is likely to be different in your jurisdiction. So don't take everything I say as gospel truth for whatever might be in your area. You've got to reach out to somebody in your jurisdiction and ask them. If you want the no-stop shopping place to go to, talk to the Grand Secretary of your jurisdiction. He will be able to know for sure what is necessary and how you go about transferring membership from one lodge to another. If you don't want to bother him, reach out to your own lodges or the local lodge if you're thinking about transferring membership in. Speak to him and hopefully he's well versed and can answer the question for you. Sometimes, however, if a lodge hasn't had to go through that process in some time, he may not be prepared to answer that question. He may have to go seek some guidance from the Grand Secretary himself. So it's just up to you which way you want to go about it. So let me tell you about how it's done here in the state of Mississippi. There's a couple different things. First, I want to make an emphasis on a point about your home lodge or your mother lodge. Here in Mississippi, the more common terminology or phraseology is to say my home lodge, but I understand in other jurisdictions people might call it their mother lodge. This is in reference to the lodge that you were a part of when you were first initiated, and most likely where you were made a fellow craft and a master mason. Sometimes that's not the case, but that's what we're talking about. Where did you start? Who made you a mason? What lodge did that happen in? There is certainly here in Mississippi no requirement to remain a member of that lodge. However, a lot of people out of respect and courtesy always want to remain a member of whatever that lodge is, to show them that respect of, hey, you guys got me started. I want to keep my membership there while also being a member somewhere else. That's called dual membership, and we'll discuss that in another video. But what happens if you do want to actually transfer your membership? Let's say you move out of the area and there's no way you're ever going to go back to your home or mother lodge. You can't afford two dues payments to two different lodges, or you just don't see any logic in paying dues to more than the one lodge you're actually able to attend. Whatever the case may be, nothing stops you from doing that. So how do you go about it? Well, here you would get a form filled out by your, let's talk about transferring out. You would get a form from your secretary of your lodge. That's basically the term we're looking for here is that you're in good standing. So the forms might be different in your jurisdiction, but basically what the purpose of this is to say that whoever you are, that you are whatever degree the certificate says that you are, an entered apprentice, a fellow craft, or a master mason, when you were when you reached that degree, and that you don't owe anything to the lodge, so your dues are up to date and all that kind of good stuff, and you don't have any charges levied against you, so you're not either on trial or possibly going to be on trial waiting for the lodge to vote on charges that have been levied against you. So all of those things generally being considered a rare occurrence. I imagine it'd be rare for you to owe your lodge money, and hopefully even more rare that you're up on charges. You're going to get this certificate that's signed by the secretary with the lodge seal on it, and then you can carry that piece of paper anywhere. Now here in the state of Mississippi we have a couple different forms, and it's done a couple different ways and I don't want to confuse you with how we do things. But suffice to say, there may be different forms for you, whether or not you want to fully transfer your membership, whether you want to be a member of 2 different lodges, have dual membership, or whatever it may be. So I say this because it's important that your intentions are clear so that you're using the right form. Because with this transferring of membership, you're gonna, let's say I stay in Mississippi and I take this certificate of good standing and I move from one side of the state to another, and I take this piece of paper to a new lodge and I say, hey, I'd like to petition for affiliation, I want to be a member here. They're going to take that and vote on it, and from the second that the gavel is wrapped and they accept me, let's presume they did, then my membership is ended at the old lodge and my membership now resides at the new lodge. So if that wasn't your intent, that might come out to surprise you later. So make sure your intent is clear so that you don't do something you didn't mean to. Now, transferring membership outside to a different jurisdiction could be a little more complicated. You may have to go through the Grand Lodge so that they can validate and verify your paperwork before you go down to a subordinate lodge and request membership locally. You may be able to address that from the other angle, going to the local lodge, bringing that certificate of good standing from your other jurisdiction and saying, hey, I just moved here, I'd like to become a member, here's my old dues card, here's my certificate of good standing, and then they take that information and send it up to their Grand Lodge, get it verified, and then come back down and make you a member there. So it could happen in a couple of different ways, but the point is that you can't just have the dues card, and you can't just know how to be examined. What we're looking for here is that piece of paper who says, right this minute, or right as of the time that that paper was signed, everything was good. Let's face it, it's December, and I have my brand new dues card for all of next year. But what happens if in March, in 2018, I decide just to haul off and forget masonry or whatever, and I move several states away, and the only thing I have is my dues card. Now my dues card says I'm up to date, but nobody has any way to get that card back from me. So let's say in March of 2018 I'm expelled from the fraternity, and then I move to a different state and I still have my valid 2018 dues card, and I show that to somebody. There's no way for them to know that I am or am not actually currently expelled. So that's kind of the point of having that extra documentation, something from the lodge that says as of the day that we signed this, everything was good. And then if you take that to a new lodge and they say, hey buddy, this was signed 6 months ago, we can't take this, then you run into a problem. But if it's only a couple weeks ago and you tell them you just moved in the area, then hopefully their policies will let them accept that. So that's a part of the reason why you have to have these multiple forms of documentation. So transferring in is, I think we pretty well covered that. I don't think there's any reason to hash that out any further. If there's something about membership transferring that I did not cover here, and you've got more questions about it, then go ahead and leave it down below and I'll give it another shot. But that's everything I can think to say about it at this point. If you've got anything else to add, or if it's different in your jurisdiction, then please leave that down below as well, so everybody can get an idea for the differences that are out there. I'm confident that they exist. Thank you all so much for taking the time to watch. We'll see you next time.